All right, hello accounting students and welcome to Unit 9. We're looking at Section 2 and the assignment in Section 2 is cash funds. So we're going to be looking at recording cash shortages or overages and then also looking at replenishing our petty cash fund. So parts 1 and 2 of assignment cash funds. So in part 1 we're looking at recording cash shortages and overages. So what that means is basically when you're working at a store and you're dealing with cash and you have clerks that are giving change back to customers, a lot of times there can be errors either in how much change is given. Maybe the clerk gives too much change back, which would leave us with a shortage, or maybe we don't give enough change back, or the cashier doesn't, which would leave us with an overage. So we'd have more cash in the drawer than we were supposed to. An overage isn't so bad because that kind of counts as then we put that money towards revenue to our business. But if it's a shortage, it kind of is an expense for our business. So hopefully your clerks don't make mistakes too often. And if they do, hopefully it's only a small amount. So let's look at this example here and decide if we need to record a cash shortage or a cash overage. On May 16th, the cash register tape shows that cash sales are $2,080 and sales tax is $104 for total sales of $2,184. The cash that we actually have in the drawer is $2,180. So that should tell us right away we are about $4 short of what we should have. So we need to record a cash shortage here. So what we need to do is prepare our T accounts to show us how we are, where this money is affecting different accounts. So the cash that we're actually taking to the bank would be this amount here. This is what we actually have as cash. So we're going to take that amount to the bank. So since we're going to take it to the bank and increase our cash account, it's going to be recorded on our debit side. We're going to increase our cash by $2,180. I'll do our cash shortage last. And then when we're looking at our sales account, it says we had recorded sales of $2,080. So with our sales, which is a revenue account, that means we're going to increase on the credit side. We need to record $2,080 here. Our sales tax payable tells us that's a liability account. We're recording that for $104. So that should also increase on our credit side for $104. And then this is the new part for us. So I kind of helped you out here with a cash short and over account. If it's a shortage, we record the shortage on our debit side because we said that's like an expense. Okay, there's not really like an increase-decrease side because essentially both of these would increase that account. So if we're recording it on the debit side, that would increase our expenses. If we're recording it on the credit side, that would increase our revenue. So instead of thinking about increase, decrease, think about shortage, overage with this cash short and over account. So we decided we have a shortage here because it says we should have $2,184 and we actually only have $2,180. So we need to record that as a cash shortage of $4, which isn't so bad. So then you need to go down here, and this is your journal. Do we have a date? Yep, May 16th. So we need to put in your date here, and then record exactly what we have up in our T account with your debits recorded first. And then just to double check yourself, you should make sure that your debits equal your credits because this is a good old-fashioned journal entry. So record those transactions into your journal. And then in part 2, we are replenishing our petty cash fund. So I'm sure you've read the text by now. So how a petty cash fund works is basically we have a box full of cash that we can use to like pay different items and then kind of replenish that amount later. So maybe we have $23 that we need to spend on supplies. Well, instead of writing a check and going through several steps to make sure it comes out of our supplies account right away, we can just pay with petty cash on the spot and then replenish it later, and like replenish all these accounts at once. So it takes up a little less time for our business. So here we have already paid these out with our petty cash. So now we're going to what's called replenish our petty cash fund. So on February 28th, American Sportswear writes a check for $89 to replenish the petty cash fund. The following are the classified account totals. So these are all the accounts that our petty cash paid for. So now we're going to take cash from our bank account and actually pay these off, and then put that money back into our petty cash fund, if that makes sense. So if we're going to think about this for a bit, we're going to be taking cash out of the bank to then pay off these expenses, and then put the money that wasn't here back into our petty cash fund. All right, so we record that by, we have our supplies account that we're working with, delivery expense, utility expense, and advertisement expense. And then we're paying those with cash now. So now we're taking it from our cash in our bank account. Now we need to record these on the appropriate side. So you guys should know this by now. These are all, supplies would be an asset. The rest of these are expense accounts. So that should tell you which side they increase and decrease on. Okay, and then same with cash and bank. We are taking money from cash and bank to pay into these expense accounts so that we can replenish our petty cash fund. Okay, so we're not making the recording of actually physically putting that money back into petty cash. We're just recording paying off these expenses with cash and bank. So these are going to be increasing, and our cash and bank should be decreasing. So record those appropriately in the T accounts, and then also make your journal entry. We have a date of February 28th. That should be going in your date column. Then you can list all your debits first, and then your credit, and make sure that they all equal once you're done. Okay? Excuse me. So that is part 2 of this assignment. Let me know if you have any questions.